The violence against the Rohingya actually predated Aung San Suu Kyi and the NLD coming into power, and it was happening from 2012 under the previous quasi-civilian government. And there were warning signs. This is not a new problem. This has been a problem. Again, it goes back to these issues of identity that I've mentioned, where there is everybody in Burma, their identity card has their race and their religion on it. And there are tiers of citizenship in Burma. And if you are not Bama, the majority ethnic nationality, or Buddhist, and Buddhist, actually, if you're not Bama and Buddhist, then you are automatically in a different category of citizenship. If you can claim to be one of the recognized ethnic nationalities, then you're in the next category of citizenship. If you can't fit into one of those two categories, then you're in a third, much lower class of citizenship. For instance, the Rohingya had to either be they had to find a way to get recognized as one of the recognized ethnic nationalities, which Rohingya was not one. But there are some Muslim groups that are recognized. And sometimes Rohingya would be able to get identity cards that put them in these other ethnic groups like Kama. And so they would be able to do that. But mostly they would have to either accept identity cards that said Bengali or Indian or Bangladeshi, that they were not citizens. They were considered, as interlopers and as immigrants into Burma, even if their families had been there for multiple generations. Aung San Suu Kyi took a very, I would say, legalistic approach to this. I think that the last conversation that I had with her about it, when I raised the problems that they had in terms of getting just basic identity documents, and she said that everybody has to provide the same documentation to get identity cards, which is just, it was so far from reality that I can only believe that she was being told this by people and chose to believe it. I think that by the time she was in office in 2016, this problem had been festering, and the Obama administration had really failed to take meaningful action against the military. And then they lifted the sanctions on the military that had been largely responsible for spinning up anti-Muslim and anti-Rohingya sentiment in the country. And I think that this was where the sanctions and the sanctions lifting in 2016 and the Rohingya issue intersect. Because if you look back in October 2016, there was another attack on the Rohingya where more than 100,000 people fled into Bangladesh. And we now look back and refer to this as the human rights community kind of refers to this as the dry run for the genocide of 2017, because the methodology that was used by the military was very similar to what was then used in August 2017. Aung San Suu Kyi's reaction was minimal. She had been in office not very long. She was focused on getting the United States to help support investment and to establish a government. And there was a real problem, though, that at the same time that this happened in October 2016, the United States again was in the process of lifting all sanctions on Burma, and including on military-owned enterprises and on the individuals in the military who were directing these campaigns of terror, and also spinning up at the grassroots level through members of the Buddhist Sangha, the monks that were ultra nationalists and extremist monks, this hate speech against the Rohingya and against Muslims. So there was a lot going on in the background before August 2017 that should have sent up flares. Aung San Suu Kyi's response to the October 2016 violence was to appoint the Annan Commission with Kofi Annan. And this actually was seen as a very positive step, that she was taking the problem seriously and putting a serious multinational group of people on the issue. And you will recall that what appeared to be the precipitating event for the unleashing of large-scale violence against Rohingya villages in August 2017 was the release of the Annan Commission's report, which called for very specific steps to help bring the Rohingya into a form of citizenship and recognition and give them a national identity and a sense of security that would allow them to live in peace in northern Rakhine State. But it appears also that the groundwork had been laid for weeks, if not months, in advance for the attacks that took place in northern Rakhine State.